Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we translate the confusing language of corporate filings into plain English. Today we've got a filing from Jaguar Health Incorporated that involves some interesting financial maneuvers. Let's just say they're making some exchanges before we dive in. If you are new here and enjoy getting the real story behind company reports without the jargon, hit that subscribe button, and for more in-depth discussions and to connect with other enthusiasts, check out our Discord community linked in the description below. Alright, so Jaguar Health Incorporated, or JAGS as it is known on the stock market, has filed a current report, also known as an 8K. Think of an 8K as a company's way of telling the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC, about major events happening right now. It's like a bulletin board for important company news that isn't necessarily part of their regular financial reports. This particular filing is dated the 12th of December 2025, and it details some recent transactions. The company involved here is Jaguar Health Incorporated, a Delaware incorporated company. They're listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange under the ticker JAGS. Now, this filing is happening under specific rules from the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. This is the law that governs how companies trade securities, like stocks, and how they report their activities to investors and the public. It ensures transparency and fairness in the market. The main part of this report, the juicy bit, is under Item 1.01, which covers the entry into material definitive agreements. Basically, this means the company has signed some important contracts that could significantly affect their business. It all starts with a previous deal on the 27th of June 2025. Jaguar Health sold some special stock, called Series M Perpetual Preferred Stock, to a group called Iliad Research and Trading LP, or Iliad for short. This was a private deal, meaning it wasn't offered to the general public. Fast forward to the 9th of December 2025. The company and Iliad got together again for another private exchange. In this first exchange, Jaguar Health gave Iliad 400,000 shares of their common stock, which is the regular stock most people buy and sell. They also issued a pre-funded common stock purchase warrant. Now, what is a pre-funded warrant? Think of it as a promise to sell shares of stock at a very low price later on. This one could be used to buy over 1.3 million shares. In exchange for all this, Jaguar Health got back 75 shares of that special Series M preferred stock. Those 75 shares were then cancelled, meaning they're no longer in play. Just a couple of days later, on the 11th of December 2025, they did it again. The second exchange agreement involved Jaguar Health giving Iliad another 40,000 shares of common stock. Plus, they issued another pre-funded warrant, this one good for buying over 300,000 shares of common stock. In return for these, Jaguar Health received another 16 shares of the Series M preferred stock, which were also cancelled. Now, these pre-funded warrants are interesting. They can be used right away or in parts, and the price to buy the shares with these warrants is incredibly low, just 1/10 of a cent per S-hair. The catch is that if Iliad exercises these warrants, their ownership of Jaguar Health's common stock is capped at 9.99% of the total shares outstanding. This is a common feature in these types of agreements to prevent a single investor from gaining too much control too quickly. This next section, item 3.02, basically confirms that these shares and warrants were not sold through a public offering. They were offered privately to Iliad, and the company is relying on an exemption from registration under the Securities Act of 1933. This means they are telling the CC that they believe this type of private transaction does not require the full registration process because it meets certain legal criteria. Finally, item 9.01 lists the exhibits that go along with this report. These are the actual legal documents behind the transactions we just discussed. We have the details of the first and second pre-funded warrants and the first and second exchange agreements. These documents would contain all the specific terms and conditions of these deals. Now, looking at these transactions broadly, it seems Jaguar Health is using these exchanges to convert a form of debt or preferred stock held by Iliad into common stock and warrants. This can be a way to reduce preferred stock obligations and potentially raise capital if these warrants are exercised. However, issuing a lot of new shares, even if it's through warrants, can dilute the ownership of existing shareholders. The fact that they are doing this in private negotiated deals suggests they are working closely with their investors to manage their financial structure. The very low exercise price on the warrants means that when the market price for JAGS rises significantly, Iliad would be incentivized to exercise them, potentially leading to a large influx of new shares into the market. This is something regular shareholders will want to keep a close eye on. So, what is the story here? Jaguar Health is actively managing its capital structure by converting preferred stock into common stock and warrants. On one hand, This could be a sign of proactive financial management. On the other hand, it could lead to shareholder dilution if the stock performs well and the warrants are exercised. The key risk and opportunity revolve around the company's ability to grow its business and stock price sufficiently to make these warrant exercises beneficial for both parties without overly diluting existing shareholders. Alright, that is our breakdown of Jaguar Health Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these stock exchanges and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.